Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna call this a fusion rock reaction rather than a classic rock reaction. Artist of the month is John Paul Jones, and we are looking at his post Led Zeppelin career, and we're going to be hitting up the Thunderthief, and that's his second solo album. If you haven't already seen his my reaction to his first one, Zuma, check that out. That was just a couple of days ago. So man, let's hit this up. Going all the way through John Paul Jones. Before I pop this off, just want to give a shout out and a thanks to Bayou Maccabee and a whole host of so many other of you who have recommended this and sent me links. So many of you I can't list. So let's check this out. Obviously it's a good album. In Bayou's opinion, this is actually better than his first. So looking forward to it, man. John Paul Jones, the Thunderthief. Let's get it. Thunder right away. bass groove there. This is the Thunderthief. The first one is
Thunderthief, he puts us under. While we sleep, he steals our thunder. All our
really different. Couldn't catch what he was saying. This is the whole song rather than just a long ass intro. Alright. Great jam, man. They had a really great jam going there. Okay, so this is ice fishing at night.
Ice fishing at night. What a wonderful sight. Fish come out of hibernation and swim up towards the light. The blubber lanterns lure them, brighter than the moon. They swim up to face the gaffer's hook and the sharp harpoon. Thinking that it's springtime, thinking that it's dawn, thinking it will soon be time to spawn. Ice fishing at night. What a wonderful sight. Ice fishing at night. Ice fishing at night.
Also singing from the point of view of the poor damn fish. Gonna get his ass harpooned. I think that's the first time I've heard John Paul Jones sing. What's next? Did I hear it? Good job. So this is
Sure everyone
someone, who do you think this is? I've known people like this.
I'm angry, angry. So irate. I'm angry, angry. I'm getting myself into a terrible state. Angry, angry. Angry, angry. Really, really angry, angry.
Almost makes you feel sorry for the person who's directing this set. I have no doubt you're angry. That was interesting. But the jam was really cool. Down to the river. It's cool. nice countryside, a nice flowing river. The Laughing Brook. Do you guys remember Fables of the Green Forest? Were you ever brought up with that? Something like that. Tom going down to the brook to fish, and to pray in this case. Let me know if you remember that shit. I'd love to see them doing that live, man. That was really good. Freedom Song.
Darling, will you come? Let's take a holiday. We've been working hard all summer. The autumn has nearly begun. Let's fly away to an island in the sun. How about New York? Just a few hours away. Go see Mama, the Whitney Museum, and maybe the Carnegie Hall. Just go shopping and walking, do nothing at all. We could take a hike, pack up a hamper and find a nice place by a babbling brook and a book with a view that we like. Finish the afternoon nicely with renting a bike. What about your mum? She could look after the kids. While we take a few days off, we'll feel like we're on the run. Nothing can possibly stop us from having some fun. I will call in sick, make up a story, I'll tell them I'm poorly and hope that they'll fall for the same old trick. Book the hotel, the flights, and get away quick. Let's go right away, doesn't bear thinking about all the ins and the outs, roundabouts. We won't do it at all if we stay. Take the bull by the horns, darling, what do you say? Darling, come with me, we'll have a good time away from the telephone, paging and messaging, no interactive TV, no one to faxes or taxes, and we shall be free.
All right, man. Charming. So that is the Thunderthief, John Paul Jones, second solo album. Very good, man. Very good. It's got a lot of what he had in the first album, a lot of great bass grooves, lots of excellent musicianship, had some folksy stuff going in there. Really, really nice. The last song was cool. I was talking of the Laughing Brook. He's singing about the Babbling Brook. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, so this, like I said, this is the first time that I actually heard his voice, heard him singing, heard him, you know, harmonizing and doing his thing. Yeah, them Crooked Vultures, I know that he kind of sang a little bit of harmonies, but I've never heard him, his isolated voice before singing. So yeah, good singing voice, man. Brother's got skills. So let's do this, man. Should we read a little bit first about the, yeah, let's read a little bit about the album, and then let's see what the fans have to say about this particular album. Yeah, you know, I mean, you can read what critics have to say, but I don't know. I'm always left incomplete, whether they're praising something or not, you know, I don't know. What do you do with critics? So, The Thunderthief is John Paul Jones's second solo album, and here is an all-music review of the album by Brad Kohlenstein of AllMusic. As in his previous solo album, The Thunderthief makes it very clear exactly what John Paul Jones brought to Led Zeppelin: driving bass, epic compositions, and impeccable musicianship. It's also very clear what he wasn't doing for Zeppelin: writing the lyrics. The tracks with words on the album are awkward and occasionally laughable, particularly the title track, which sounds suspiciously like a jab at Robert Plant, and Angry Angry, a presumably mock punk song. Yeah, I was visualizing him actually singing this shit to Robert Plant. Probably a little bit of Page as well. Both detract from what is otherwise a very impressive album. Jones plays nearly every instrument on the record and mixes sounds from seemingly every continent and era he could think of. The Thunderthief's best moments are its surprises like Down to the River to Pray, a beautiful rendition of the bluegrass standard, and Ho Diddle, which starts off a classic rock jam and works its way into an Irish jig. On Freedom Song, Jones mixes Eastern sounds in with Western philosophy and somehow makes it work. At the very least, The Thunderthief is evidence that Jones continues to experiment and brave new territory, encouraging news from a man. There we go. Okay, encouraging news from a man who could just rest on the greatness of his laurels. Sorry, I can't read today, man. Damn. So that's an all music review. He's saying what I was thinking, who is poking jabs at, and he's definitely really spreading his creative wings and experimenting, and he's not afraid to experiment. Whether it lands well or not, at that point, he's just doing it for him, I think. All right, man. So let's see what the fans are saying, man, about the Thunderthief. Before I do that, give me a quick sec. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. So let's see what some of the fans are saying about this great album, man. John Paul Jones will go down in history as one of the greatest multi-talented musicians of the 20th and 21st century, in my opinion. Very underrated and underappreciated until late. But real musicians and music lovers know what an amazing talent he is, always pushing boundaries. It's got lots of thumbs up but a number of replies, so I'm sure that there's some people who are kind of maybe taking issue with what he said about underappreciation. John Paul Jones wrote so many great musical passages while in Led Zeppelin and others before, most people don't even know. He wrote Black Dog. There is nice rehearsal tape on YouTube of him teaching it to the rest of the group. When all four played together, it was magic, and they knew this right from the very jam. Extremely hard to find another chemistry like Led Zeppelin. It's a gift to all that listen. Absolutely, man. Tom Guitar, well said, Tom. A whole hell of a lot of Zepp in this album. Every instrument was probably played by John Paul Jones, who is the coolest man in music. Legend. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. The coolest man in music. John Paul Jones is the best of the best in Led Zeppelin and was completely kick-ass and has completely kick-ass riffs big time. Sounds very much like kick-ass wild stuff. If it were not for John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Henry Bonham, Led Zeppelin would not have been as excellent as it was. Brilliant people make music beautiful. Thanks, guys, for everything. Absolutely. Yeah. He's saying the same thing I've said a million times in the last 3 years. You switch these guys out and you replace them, the sound is different and not for the better. Definitely. A master musician, Led Zeppelin would not have been the same without him. Okay. Guess we know who the real legendary musician was. Only took 30 plus years. And there's lots of thumbs up, but there's also a lot of replies, so I'm sure that they're going to be going back and forth there. You can tell when someone's taken issue with a comment and they're going to be going back and forth. I won't read them though. Let's read one more. Fascinating to listen to John Paul Jones' solo work. He's a terrific talent, and I can hear his influence on Led Zeppelin all over the place. Frankly though, I can also hear places where the old band would have helped his current work, like the Beatles' solo work. His musicianship is necessary, but not always sufficient. Interesting. Yeah, definitely. When you've got the four combined, that's the magic elixir there, man. They can't help but create really, really cool stuff. And even if John Bonham was with us today, and those four, after, I don't know, a 20-year hiatus or whatever it is, they get back and they sit down and they create some music, you know that shit would be good. You know it would be thunderous. You know it would have that Led Zeppelin signature touch all over it, man. You know, it takes four. It takes that collaboration. All right, y'all. So let me know what you think about the Thunderthief. Let me know what you think about it compared to the previous album. Let me know what you think about Jonesy's vision, the way he expresses himself, how he plays, all of that. You know, in a solo capacity, he's definitely, he's awesome. In a collaborative sense with other musicians, he's even better, I think. What do you think of that? Well, you know, and we've mentioned the Led Zeppelin factor already. I mean, that's the ultimate, right? All right. Yeah, and speaking of collaborating with other musicians, how cool would it be if they were to get back together again, namely them Crooked Vultures? I think that I'm looking at it and you see him having fun. I believe that it's, Evelyn pointed out that she's never seen him smile during the Led Zeppelin years, but he was smiling in the Crooked Vultures. The only smile I recall from Jones during the Led Zeppelin years was Dazed and Confused in the '73 film, when Bonzo was a little frustrated with Page and all the ins and outs and everything, and he was trying to follow him and kind of shaking his head, and Jonesy's looking at him saying, yeah, I know what you're going through, and they had a knowing smile, shaking their heads type of thing. So that's the only smile I recall seeing from Jones in Led Zeppelin. I'm sure there was more, but yeah, you're right, Evelyn. There's not too many of Jonesy smiling, but he's definitely in the Crooked Vultures, the concert that I did a reaction for a couple of days ago. He was smiling a lot in that. I noticed that. All right, y'all. That is our installment for the Artist of the Month, John Paul Jones. And we're going to be hitting up a little bit more of Jonesy before the month is over. Not quite sure what's up next, but definitely going to try and see if I can get as much in there as possible. Even if I don't get everything in there, all of the recommendations, we're going to continue with John Paul Jones. We'll continue with Page. We'll continue with Plant. You know what I'm saying? All right. So with that said, I'm going to bounce y'all. This was really good, man. I really enjoyed it. I'd have to flip a coin, but maybe, just maybe, the first one for me edges this one out a little bit. And I know that Bayou, this one edges the first one out for you a little bit. So, you know, that's how it is. But I like them both. They're both really great, top-notch and fantastic musicianship. And in this one, though, he's definitely doing a little bit more experimenting, and it's all good. I like every single song, and it was a really, really good way to check out what he was doing in his solo works. And at this time, who was it that was saying this to me? At this time, he was still in a stage of being maybe a little bit upset at Page and Plant, and that he was doing as much experimenting as possible, and just to show that, yeah, you know what, I can go out on a limb and I can express myself and I can be experimental as well, and I can hit all of those fine-tuned marks that Led Zeppelin hit, the folksy stuff, the thunderous rock stuff, all of these different things that had a Led Zeppelin signature to it that I was a part of. I can do it on my own. So I guess that's kind of like the statement that was being made. Let me know if that's accurate. Yeah, it's nice to kind of get an idea of the timeline, what was happening in his life, what inspired the album, and where things were coming from and stuff like that. So that's why I'm asking. I'm not looking to create a pissing contest or anything like that in the comment section. I'm just asking questions. All right, y'all, I'm going to bounce. So have a good one. Take care. The next time you see me doing a Jonesy installment, where are we? If today's Sunday, on Monday. So probably by Tuesday you'll see another Jonesy installment. I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be a super busy day at work, so I'm not looking to do any reactions tomorrow. But if I get lucky, maybe I'll squeeze one in. And fingers crossed that we don't lose another great rock legend. If that happens, then yeah, the world stops. I stop what I'm doing and I do a tribute. Outside of that though, I probably won't be doing anything tomorrow for reactions, not until Tuesday. Have a good one, take care, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Peace.